Greetings everyone. I want to talk about the unlock that comes from living minimalistically and basically removing yourself totally and completely from your scripted area.
Greetings. This infinite source truth is made possible by the generous contributions and support of viewers like you. Please consider making a contribution now. Thank you.
This entire game, the frequency levels are levels of consciousness, and each level is different. In the awareness and the abilities, however, each level also has 9 sublevels. Living minimalistically, giving up everything. What is that I talked about? Basically what I did, which was to totally give up everything, even the country that I knew and was born in, selling everything. Now, I wasn't silly about this, okay? I didn't give everything away. I sold everything. Now, I sold everything at a loss, okay? But we had no debt, and we had a home, and all kinds of things. A very comfortable lifestyle. And we sold absolutely everything, turned it into cash, other than a few suitcases, and we left knowing no one where we were going, not even sure where we would end up at or what we would be doing. But following the guidance given to us by our source selves. In that process, by totally removing ourselves from, we didn't just move out of state, we left the country. Okay? That's a huge step for many, many, many reasons. For many reasons. And it totally separated us from all family, all friends, everything that we knew, including the culture that we knew. And it changed things inside of us. It changed things inside of us. It caused us to know ourselves better. What are the real reasons that you do the things that you do? That you consider things important that you do? That you value certain things more than other things? It is a self-examination. It tests you. It tests you. Very much tests you. It would have been impossible for me to accomplish the big win without my removing myself from my country of birth. Along with all the trappings of society and consumerism and materialism in developed countries come an abundance of traps, and what family, friends, and peers say, and the influence that they exert over you. Now, when we left, basically our families had nothing to do with us, and neither did our friends. It was a total severing. 100% total severing. And it was the best thing that could ever have happened. I'll speak for myself, for me personally. Now I'm going to say that because we had no debt and we owned a home and we had no debt on anything that we owned, it means when we sold it, we had money. Money. We did not leave America with $100 in our pocket expecting to go live in another country and not have the means to feed ourselves or shelter ourselves. We were not going and looking for a job. We were not leaving the country of our birth to go to another country to be a burden on another country, or to try to make a living and survive in another country, or to live in a state of poverty. Okay? Now, this is only for people who have unlocked scripts. I say this, unlocked scripts, okay? And a full grasp of this game, who have a higher level of consciousness. You're on a higher frequency plane. If you are not in the higher frequency planes, I say don't even think about doing this, because it's going to be very hard and difficult. You have to know that you are a powerful creator, that you create your reality. You have to know that the money is going to be there, that you have provision, that you have the ability. Now, can you leave your country of birth and go teach an English class in another country? Sure you can, if you can do that. Can you have an online business where you create websites or you do photography, or you do something online? You have an online business that you have shipping done from a third, by a third party, and this kind of stuff. There are all kinds of options and possibilities that you can leave your country of birth and go and live someplace else, but you don't do it with an empty bank account. You don't even think about trying to do that. Don't try to think about backpacking your way across the world if you have no money in your pocket. Don't do it. It creates stress, it creates fear and worry, and those things are going to keep your frequency down. You need to be able to go forth in knowledge that you have the ability to be able to enjoy the journey along the way. Now, what happens when you give up those things? Well, it's a change in your consciousness. It is a consciousness unlock in that you have to deal with deeper issues within you. You have to recognize that it's not about the trappings. It's not about the things that you own. Your worth is not in the things that you own. Now, can all of this be done without actually giving up anything? Well, it's very possible that you could accomplish this without ever leaving your country of birth or where you're at right now. If you do minimalistic living, in other words, you have only those things that you enjoy in your life. Material items that you enjoy that add value to your experience in your now day. And you hold them with an open hand. You're not connected to them. You're powering them with your synergy cell, but you're not holding on tightly to those things. They're open-handed. In other words, they could be there or not, and it wouldn't bother you. This is a mindset. This is it's an unlock in your mind. It's an open-handed. You're holding everything open-handed. That goes for relationships. That goes for everything. Everything. If something was going to happen and you got a gut reaction that you needed to get out of the way of something, if your source self says, well, you need to drop everything right now and you need to get a plane and get the heck out of the country that you live in, or you need to remove yourself from a certain state, a certain area, a certain country. Can you do that? Would you do that? Or would you be resistant? Would you say, I can't leave. I got to take it all with me. Well, all of that stuff is a weight on you. It's a big old ball and chain that's holding you down. You are tied to those things. You're tied to those things. Because you are tied to those things. They're tethered to you. You have to break the tethers. Now, this goes for all relationships, pets and animals. This goes for everything. It is a mindset. It is a mindset. It's your consciousness. It is your... That's the unlock. That's the unlock. Now, can you have these things? Yes, you can have them. And you can enjoy them more. If you get rid of the clutter, you minimalize your life into the things that you really enjoy. Keep those things in your life. If you have a full synergy cell or nearly full synergy cell, you can power many things in your experience. Now, I said money doesn't charge you anything from your synergy cell. You can have money. It's currency. It's current. Okay? But current always has flow. Always has flow. Whenever you shut the current off, whenever it doesn't have flow in your life, then that is not beneficial for you as a source player. There needs to be flow. The money is there for experience. Not things, but experience. Yes, you can have experiences by having things, but when you have a thing, you are powering that thing out of your synergy cell on a daily drip, drip, drip basis. Now, I'm going to take, for example, myself. We do not own the place that we live in. We rent it. We rent everything. There are very few things that we have that, well, I'll say this, that there is nothing that we have that isn't held with an open hand. Okay? There is no connections to them. And I have intentionally removed all connections to all items that I have purchased, even for the process of making these videos, which means the camera equipment, the audio equipment, the tripods, the lights, all of the equipment that I have purchased, the computer, you know, the hard drives, everything, the whole, you know, material items that are in my daily experience. They're there because they benefit me to be able to do these videos, to put them on YouTube easily, to share this information. I am not attached to them. They do not, yes, they do come out of my synergy cell, but there's a limited quantity that I will allow to be taken out of my synergy cell. You are here for the experience, not for the things. Things can bring you experience, but you just don't want to be powering those things on a daily basis. And how you get around it is you don't own them. Now, if you can think of it that way, that you don't own it, it doesn't own you. Okay? That is beneficial to you. It is a mindset. It is a consciousness and awareness that this is all an illusion. There's no matter to start with. There's no matter to start with. It's an illusion. It's a dream state. This is the unlock that becomes, it's not an instant unlock. Everything in this journey has its season of testing. Everything is gradual. There is always a season of testing. If you think that you are going to do all of this and immediately have an instantaneous switch flipped, it doesn't work like that. it is, for one thing, there's a test. There's always going to be a testing after you have made a choice. There is a consequence of that choice, and you are presented with some of those consequences. You have to make it through the season of testing in order to unlock the benefits of that thing. Now, if you have a spouse who's not minimalistic, the question is, do you really want to remove that relationship from your game? Now, you don't have to remove any relationship. For one thing, you won't be able to unless you have an unlocked script, but unless it is in your script to remove that person, as a choice in your script to remove that person, there is always cause and effect. If you make these choices to live a minimalistic lifestyle, and you have a lot of people, friends, peers, family around you, they are going to question. They're not going to understand it, because from their viewpoint and their script, it makes absolutely no sense that you would do any of this. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you leave us behind? Why would you want to do that? It's silliness and craziness to them. But sometimes you need to get away from those people who have so much influence in your life that they tell you basically what your worth is. You know, the group all gets together and they measure each other up. The siblings all measure each other up by how much money they make and how many cars they have and how fancy those cars are, and you know what big house they have and what schools their children are going to, and all that crap. And I'm going to call it crap because that's the world. That's exactly how this matrix gets you all choked up and stuck. You have to know who you are. You have to be, hold yourself in high esteem. Because if you don't hold yourself in high esteem, nobody else is going to. They are going to mirror back to you and reflect back to you what you think of yourself. It's time to start realizing who you really are, that you're source, and that you create your reality here. Now, the unlock would never be instantaneous. There's always a time of testing to see if you really meant it, to see if you really had what it takes to continue the path, continue the journey in that choice that you made. There's always the time of testing. And you either succeed or fail in that time of testing. And that determines what the consequence will be for your action. You see, there is no regrets. There is no turning back. There is no undoing once you've made a choice. And your decisions and your abilities will be determined by you and what you desire and what you want out of life. Life is made for living and for experiencing, not for simply digging in and doing everything as you were programmed to do it. It takes work, it takes commitment, and you have to know. Most importantly, you have to know who you are, and you have to have a strong source self connection. Now, knowing yourself is the greatest thing. It's deep within you. The whole universe is within. The whole universe is within you. Your universe is within you. and your source self connection is how you can uncover and draw the knowledge out of that universe within. Hold everything with an open hand. Hold everything with an open hand. Remove those things that don't benefit you from your life experience. Don't hang on to relationships that do not benefit you, that do not bring you joy or satisfaction. Hold everything with an open hand. Do some house cleaning. Do some mental house cleaning. Maybe do some relationship house cleaning. But know yourself. Know yourself. Know who you are. Know who you are. And know what pushes your buttons and why certain things push your button. Neutrality. Neutrality is really most beneficial. And that's the open hand. Neutrality. If it's there, great. If it's gone, great. You're steady. You're steady. I will tell you in the higher frequency realms that if something is taken out of your hand, and if you don't overreact to that thing being taken out of your hand, something better gets placed in it. Something better takes its place. But you would never know that if you were hanging on to that thing for dear life. Be open to things moving in your life and there being a flow in your life. And make this your best life yet. And enjoy the journey. It is a wonderful, wonderful game that we have created. You can experience your best life yet. You absolutely can. It starts in your mind with the decisions that you make in your now day. Decisions that will benefit you. Now, if you have benefited from the information that I share in these videos, then it benefits you to do an energy exchange, to say thank you for the work and the energy that I have put into these. It is an energy exchange, and you get out of these videos what you put into them. It is a frequency issue within you, and it is a flow of currency through you that unlocks higher frequency unlocks for you as you release flow in your life. Abundance, health, and prosperity to you.